Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to explain you some of the interview question answer. And those are the most important question answers because right now the maximum companies are working on the agile methodologies. So these questions are asked in almost every interview, you will see. And if you have already faced interview, then you will see that most of the questions which I am going to explain here that already been asked to you. So I prepared these questions just for to give you the exact answer so that you can convert your interview into the offer letter, or you can explain in a better way for the agile scrum questions during your interview. So the second thing, those who doesn't have knowledge of agile scrum or the agile methodology, watch my agile video. I will also mention the link for in a link for that video in the description. You can go through that video. There are two videos that is not possible to complete in one video. So there are two video, and watch without skipping, because you don't know where I have discussed about some of the important topics. And if you have seen those videos, then you can easily answer whatever the questions I am going to discuss here now. Question answers, you can easily answer those questions if you are watching those video without skipping. Okay. So now moving to the question answer. So I have prepared few of the questions and I'm going to answer you how you can answer during the interview and all the things. So you can see these are the questions I gathered around 15 questions for the agile. Now, what is the agile methodology? The first one is, what is the agile methodology? So agile methodology is basically, this is also I explained very clearly in the detail in our video, in my agile scrum video, but again I am answering here. The agile methodology is basically to deliver the application, to deliver the software and the working software to the client as per their requirement, not like a conventional methodology that we will deliver the software once it is completed, tested, developed, tested, and everything is passed from the tester side, then we will deliver the whole software. No, in a agile, this is the iterative and incremental development approach, where we give the working software in a chunks to the client. And in chunks doesn't mean that we are just delivering the code. That code is working. You can complete one flow. You can, just like if I'm uh, if talk about any example. So suppose there is a buying product from Flipkart. So for buying product, I am giving the wholesale software in that agile. Like a user is adding product, then buying product, buying by different way, like credit card, debit card, and COD and all the things. And order must be generated. So this is the whole part of the requirement we deliver to the client. So this is called iterative and incremental development. Now this part we have developed and tested and delivered to the client. But the product search, adding to the cart, and all the things are already developed. So now we are delivering this from the cart to buy till the order generation or the invoice generation. So now this is the iterative development because we are delivering only this part: buy, payment, invoice generation. But the earlier things was already developed. So if the client integrates all the code, then the complete flow will be completed. So that's why it is called iterative and incremental development. Flexibility is very good thing in the Agile, that if any changes required, then we accept the changes. Customer is directly associated with this. Customer means the client directly associated with the Agile. Customer decides, the client decides that what feature I need first. What are the important feature for my business? Like if I'm, let's say in the Flipkart example, there is multiple feature for the software like registration, login, then search product, buy product, add to cart, payment, order, invoice, cancel product. Multiple features are there. But for the client perspective, what are the important feature to generate the revenue? And for generating revenue, we need to search product and add to cart and buy product. So these three things are most important rather than the login and registration, right? So that customer decided what product is more important for me. And remember, for the production, for the live, login is necessary, but that is under development. So the for the development, what are the necessary things? What are the important feature for my application? So customer decides. So there are multiple things, even 7 to 8 or 9 principle for the agile, but no need to memorizing all the things. But most important part is that agile is an incremental and iterative approach of development where flexibility and adaptability is always welcome. Customer is directly involved. Continuous delivery. We are providing continuous delivery means every 1 week or 2 week, whatever the time duration is fixed. Let's say it is 2 week. So every after 2 weeks, we are delivering some of the working software to the client. So moreover, these are the things covered in the agile. No need to remember all the principle, 8 to 9 principle are there, and uh, because you are not a scrum master, you are working as a dev team, as a tester, right? So I am explaining those things, keeping in mind that as a tester, what is my role responsibility in the agile? Now, on which agile framework you have worked on? So there are multiple agile frameworks like Scrum, Kanban, Extreme Programming, Lean, RAD, but maximum agile framework which is used by the organization, that is either a Scrum or Kanban. 60% companies are using, 60 to 65% companies are using the Scrum, and rest of the companies are using Kanban. Lean and extreme programming, XP, RAD, rapid application development, are for the very small application, 3 to 6 month application they are using. So very, if I talk about the normal company or the standard company, so they avoid to use that lean or the XP or the RAD. Mostly they are using the Scrum or the Kanban. This question I will discuss later on. What is difference between a Scrum and Kanban? Now, what are the Scrum ceremonies? So basically, there are 4 Scrum ceremonies. The first ceremony is sprint planning. The next ceremony is the Scrum meeting or daily stand-up meeting. The third one is sprint review. and the fourth one is sprint retrospective. So these are the four Scrum ceremonies. What is happening in all these ceremonies that can also be asked in the interview. So let me tell you in a brief way, because this is, I don't want to keep this session very long, or this recorded session very long. So let me tell you the first one is, sorry, sprint planning. Second one is a scrum meeting. Third one is a sprint review. And a sprint retrospective. So what is happening in the sprint planning? So these all are only four. These all four are the scrum ceremonies. What happens in the sprint planning? We plan what are the features we need to deliver. What are the features we need to deliver in that particular sprint? In the particular sprint. Now remember, the first question also comes that what is a sprint? So a sprint is nothing. A sprint is nothing. It is just a time duration. A sprint is simply, you can answer that is a time duration. So for the particular time duration, how many requirement or user story I have to deliver? So we are planning in the sprint planning, we are deciding those things, and this is decide based on the available bandwidth. On the available bandwidth. Bandwidth of whom? The first one, development team, dev team. But one thing also here, that in the dev team also tester is working. So developer is also working, designer is also working, and database developer is also working. All people are working as a dev team. So, but here we more we consider we give the first priority as a developer who are working as a developer in the dev team. They decide that how what are the complexity for the particular user story. Based on that, how much time they will take to complete that one, and based on that, how much bandwidth is there. Let's say three developer are working, and 2 week is sprint, so 10 working days. So and every developer, let's say I'm taking productive hour, that is a 6. So 6 into 10, 60 into 3, 180 man hour. We can take task or assignment or the work max to max 180 man hours, because we have this much of the bandwidth. And for this bandwidth, dev team will, uh, in the dev team, developer will develop these story, because we have to deliver the story. To deliver the story, what is the required first? The first thing, the story should be developed, then the tested, right? So this is for two week of the developer, right? 10 days, 5 working days. And for the tester, let's say two tester are working. So for them, that is 6 hour also I'm taking for them. So 20 into 6, 120 man hour is available for the testing. So they will write the test case. They will help the developer for their unit testing. They will provide the test data to complete their unit testing, all the things. So the sprint planning, what are the features need to deliver in the particular sprint, decides on the available bandwidth of the developer first thing, right? Then the Scrum meeting. A Scrum meeting is what we have done yesterday, and what going to do today. That is the two things only we discuss in the Scrum meeting, and this is everyday meeting. Sprint planning is one time for every sprint. A Scrum meeting is everyday meeting, and that is also known as a stand-up meeting, where we discuss that what I have completed yesterday, what I'm going to do today. Is there any challenges I am facing? Is there any help required? So in this meeting, we can discuss those things. Not very in a detail, in a we can give a just in a bullet point format that yes, I am doing this and all the things, but I am facing challenge, so I am taking help from this person, that person, like that. So this gives the complete you can say the complete transparency for the whole team, that who are working on which user story, what are the status of that one, and all the things. Then the sprint review. It's sprint review once the user story is developed. So before delivering to the clients wants that I want to see what are the things developed. Is my business scenario is meeting? So clients wants to review the developed feature. Like in conventional methodology, that is alpha testing. But here that is a sprint review. Now the retrospective. Suppose we have to deliver in a particular sprint. Let's say we have to deliver in a particular sprint, sprint one, 10 user story we have to deliver, but we could deliver only the 8 user story. In that case, what will happen? These user story were assigned based on bandwidth, but still we could not deliver. So what was the reason why we could not deliver? Why we could not meet 10? So for this, there are multiple reasons. There can be multiple reasons, because we have delivered 8 user story. That is good thing, but we could not achieve our goal. So what are the reason? For that reason, we do the sprint retrospectives. And there in the retrospective, uh, there are multiple things come, like the requirement was not clear. Second thing, let's say more bugs identified. Team was not ready for working in such environment, because maybe two, three team member are not well aware of how the agile works. So there are multiple reasons. So in this meeting, we identified what was the reason and how to overcome this. So two things only we discuss in this, that what went right and what went wrong. Now, one thing is, I want to make it clear, very clear, that suppose we have to decide, we have to deliver the 10 user story and we deliver the 10 user story. So it doesn't mean that we will not do the sprint retrospective. If that is under the ceremonies, of course, we will do the retrospective as well. Although we have completed all the tasks, but again, we will do the retrospective. Everything was fine, nothing was wrong. But again, we will do the retrospective where we will check, we will see what are the points we can excel, we can improve so that we can do more and more user story. Fine. So these things, that is the Scrum ceremony. Now, what are the meetings you have attended in Scrum? So these meetings, every development team member, either you are a tester, uh, developer, you have to attend. Designer, UI designer, UI developer, you have to attend these 4 meetings. That is mandatory. But apart from this, there are one or two meetings are also there that comes under the normal meeting. The first meeting is a sprint grooming meeting. In the sprint grooming meeting, what is happening? Let me write down. That is a sprint grooming meeting. What happens in this meeting? Once the sprint planning is done, so the product owner explains what the all the user story which was decided to complete in that particular sprint, that gives a not a complete 100% detailed description, but gives the overall idea that how the system will work, what are the expectation. Because going through the requirement or user story, no one can understand all the things. So that's why if in the real time, if you are working, like I planned that I'm going to from X to Y place and will reach in 30 minutes. But when I start traveling, so I saw that there are a lot of traffic. I did not find any public transport for 10 minutes. So these things can delay my work, right? So the same thing as product owner after the sprint planning gives all the development team member, especially developer and the tester, that to what is my expectation, what is their expectation from the software or the delivered feature. So that happens as a sprint grooming, and he explains or she explains each and every story, user story, which was decided to complete in that particular sprint. The next meeting is the triage call. Triage call is just for discussing about the bug, about the bug. And this is completely with the, in this meeting also the development team must be present or they are mandatory to attend this meeting, and the client technical team or the business analyst or the product owner. If there is any dispute between for the bug from the developer or tester, any dispute is happening developer and in between developer and tester, then the client side people, like if they have their own technical team or if they have the business analyst or the product owner will explain that is it a bug or not a bug, because they know their business very well, right? So these two meetings are happening for apart from the scrum ceremonies. Okay. And as a developer or as a tester, because you are working in Agile or a Scrum, you have to attend all the meetings. What is team velocity? So, team velocity, like I discussed already in my video, a Scrum video, but again, I am explaining here. Let's say in a sprint one, we have to deliver 10 user story and we could deliver only 8. In sprint 2, as per our bandwidth, we have to deliver 12 user story and we could deliver 10. 10. So the total number of sprint completed, that is 2. How many user story we had delivered? That is 18. So 18 divided by 2. So that is 9. It means total user story delivered till completed sprint divided by completed sprint gives you the team velocity. That my team velocity is to deliver 9 user story at least. Now, how you will improve the team velocity? This is a tricky question. First of all, you have to remember that you are working as a tester in the Scrum project. So you are not the Scrum Master, not the product owner, right? You are working as a tester in the development team. So the team velocity, improving team velocity is not your job responsibility, first thing. Second, yes, I can help to improve the team velocity. How? By completing my task, my user story, whatever the time I have given or assigned for that particular user story within the time. I can help the developer. I can provide the test data to the developer so that they can complete their unit testing and unit testing correctly. And once I received the build from them, of course, the bug will we can bugs will be minimum, right? Less number of bugs we can identify in that case. So less number of bugs means what? Less developer can have some spare time which they can use on the next user story. So this way we can improve the team velocity. But this is not my job role. This is a Scrum Master job role. I can help by doing this two way. Whatever the time decided, I will complete this user story in 4 hours. That I will complete within the 4 hours. Second, I will provide test data to the developer so that they can perform their unit testing correctly and they will ensure that whatever the code I am delivering will be, there are chances that will be bug. Tester will find a bug, but not, but less number of bugs. Less number of bugs they will identify. Okay, it will take lesser time to fix it, right? So this way we can improve the time velocity. What is a story point and how you decide a story point? A story point is a weightage for the particular user story. Basically, that is decided based on the Fibonacci series. We use the Fibonacci series or the t-shirt sizing. Through this, we give the complexity. How much complex is that user story? Developer provides their complexity. I provide as a testing point of view how much complex for me to test that feature. What is complexity means how much effort I have to apply. Complexity means simple thing. how much effort I have to apply to test that particular user story. What are the data conditioning I have to do? And of course, if I am doing data conditioning, then it will take some time, right? So what are the effort is required from the testing point of view? Based on that, I provide the complexity for that particular user story. What is a sprint? As I discussed earlier, a sprint is nothing. It is just like a it is time duration. And remember, a sprint in the, if I talk about minimum in almost all the organization, minimum they use 2 week sprint, maximum they can go for 4 week. 2 week, 3 week, and maximum 4 week. 1 week generally no one prefers because in 1 week क्या कुछ तो भी क्या बनेगा और क्या टेस्ट होगा, because very less number of time is within for the 1 week, right? Only 5 days. So minimum 2 week लोग रखते हैं, but as per Scrum, you can also keep 1 week. There is no restriction, but you cannot beyond 4 week. Now here, if the interviewer says that नहीं हमारे यहाँ तो 5 week का है, so of course you can use 5 week, 10 week, or even 1 year for one sprint. But that is not a Scrum. It is just like ग्रेजुएशन तो मैंने भी किया है, बीटेक मैंने भी किया, कहाँ से किया है? किया तो है मैंने, मेरे पास डिग्री है, कहाँ से किया है? मेरे डिग्री देख लो, मार्कशीट देख लो, कहाँ से किया है? मेरे पास सब कुछ है, फर्जी है वो, राइट? किसी ना किसी यूनिवर्सिटी से किया होगा ना, और यूनिवर्सिटी का नाम नहीं पता है तो फर्जी डिग्री है। तो सिंपल थिंग, आप 5 week रख लो, 10 week रख लो, और आप उसे नाम दे दो स्प्रिंट का या स्क्रम का, बट दैट इज नॉट ए स्क्रम। आप उससे जबरदस्ती स्क्रम बोल रहे हो। जस्ट लाइक कि मैं एक ऑल्टो खरीदूं और उसका नाम मैंने मर्सिडीज रख दिया, और मैं बोलता हूँ हाँ मेरे लिए तो यही मर्सिडीज है, राइट? तो मेरे लिए मर्सिडीज है, लेकिन मेरे मतलब जितने बाहर के लोग हैं उनके लिए वो ऑल्टो ही रहेगा। सो स्प्रिंट का टाइम 4 week से ज्यादा नहीं हो सकता, ये स्क्रम बोलता है। आपको रखना है, आप 10 week का रख लो, 50 week का रख लो, डजंट, नो वन इज स्टॉपिंग यू, बट फॉर अ होल द वर्ल्ड दैट इज नॉट a scrum. For you that is a scrum, or whatever you want to name it. Now the next question is, what is the sprint duration? What is the sprint duration of your project? So the sprint duration, जैसे मैंने बताया कि देखो 1 week में कुछ भी बनता नहीं है, क्या क्या बनेगा और क्या टेस्ट होगा। सो जनरली 2 week का स्प्रिंट रखते हैं हर कोई, मिनिमम 2 week का रखते हैं, मैक्सिमम 4 week। तो जो 4 week चूंकि मैक्सिमम है, सो वहां तक जाते हैं। व्हाट इज बर्न डाउन चार्ट एंड बर्न अप चार्ट? सो बर्न डाउन एंड बर्न अप चार्ट, सॉरी, ये भी अगर मैं बोलूं कि ये टेस्टर के लिए जरूरी है तो रॉन्ग है। इंटरव्यूअर अगर आपसे पूछता है क्वेश्चन, तो ये भी गलत है। ना तो टेस्टर को इस चार्ट से कोई मतलब है, और होना भी नहीं चाहिए, बिकॉज आई एम ए टेस्टर, आई एम नॉट मैनेजिंग द टीम, आई एम नॉट बॉदरिंग कि कितना काम हुआ है, कितना काम बचा हुआ है। सो बर्न डाउन एंड बर्न अप चार्ट यही चीज बताता है बेसिकली। बर्न डाउन चार्ट क्या बताता है कि हाउ मच कितना काम अभी कंप्लीट करना है और कितना टाइम बचा है। रिमेम्बर, ध्यान देना, कितना काम कंप्लीट करना है, मतलब जो काम हो गया उसे हम नहीं कंसीडर कर रहे हैं। एक स्प्रिंट में लेट से कि मुझे 10 काम करना है, तो कितना काम हो गया है उसे कंसीडर नहीं कर रहे हैं, कितना काम बचा है और कितने टाइम बचे हैं मेरे पास। दैट इज बर्न डाउन चार्ट। बर्न अप चार्ट होता है जस्ट इसमें भी वही होता है, लेकिन इसमें क्या होता है कि कितना वर्क कंप्लीट हो गया है मेरे कितने टाइम में। वहां पर हम देखते हैं कितना काम बचा है और कितना टाइम बचा है। इसमें बर्नअप चार्ट में देखते हैं कितना काम कंप्लीट हो चुका है कितने टाइम में। यहाँ पे हम कंप्लीशन को देखते हैं, वहां पे बचे हुए टाइम को और बचे हुए वर्क को देखते हैं। राइट। सो बर्न डाउन चार्ट में हम क्या देखते हैं, बेसिकली वी फोकस ऑन रिमेनिंग वर्क, वी फोकस ऑन रिमेनिंग वर्क एंड रिमेनिंग टाइम। लेकिन बर्नअप चार्ट में हम देखते हैं कि कितना वर्क कंप्लीट हो चुका है कितने टाइम में। ये दोनों में डिफरेंस है। अब बर्नअप एंड बर्न डाउन चार्ट ये बनता है बाय डिफॉल्ट जीरा में। बाय डिफॉल्ट बनता है बिकॉज वहां पे वो टाइम ट्रैकिंग करता है तो वो बनाता है। आप इसे एक्सेल पे भी बना सकते हो, जैसे मैंने अभी बनाया। लेट मी शो यू। यू कैन सी कि मेरा टाइम है एंड टास्क है। दिस इज मंडे ट्यूसडे, 2 वीक का मैंने स्प्रिंट कंसीडर किया। दिस इज द फर्स्ट वीक, दिस इज द सेकेंड वीक। डेट एंड मेरा ये टोटल मेरे पास इतने काम थे। कितने? टोटल मेरे पास 67 यूजर स्टोरी मुझे डिलीवर करने थे। ना यू कैन सी हियर कि सैटरडे संडे भी है। अब सैटरडे संडे तो ऑफ रहता है, छुट्टी रहता है। तो मैंने उसी को कंसीडर किया है कि टोटल काम मेरा जो है ना, अब इसको काउंट आप करके इसमें से 12 को माइनस कर देते हैं। तो इसको मैं हटा देता हूँ। वी हैव टू कंप्लीट 55 वर्क्स इन 2 वीक्स, राइट। अब यहाँ पे 6 6 इसलिए लिया है कि मैंने कंसीडर किया कि फ्राइडे को 6 काम खत्म करने थे। तो ठीक है, सैटरडे को भी वही 6 काम रहा, वही 6 काम रहा। उसमें कोई इंक्रीज नहीं करना है, ना डिक्रीज करना है। 6 काम खत्म करने थे तो वही मैंने कंसीडर कर लिया कि फ्राइडे सैटरडे संडे को भी, सैटरडे संडे को भी 6 6 काम ही था वो। ना, अब इसके बेसिस पे मैंने एक ग्राफ बनाया, लाइन ग्राफ। सो यू कैन सी कि मेरा 19 जनवरी तक ऐसे आया ना, डाउन आया। और यहाँ पे फिर ठीक है, वो मैंने कंसिडर नहीं किया था, ये 6 6 काम ही रहा। टोटल मेरे पास 55 काम ही है। ये तो मैंने डाला कि ठीक है, मैं 6 काम फ्राइडे को खत्म हो गया तो ठीक है, 6, और सैटरडे का भी मैं 6 ही काउंट रखता हूँ। नाउ अब जब एक्चुअल काम स्टार्ट हुआ, दिस इज माय प्लान्ड। नाउ जब एक्चुअल स्टार्ट हुआ तो मेरा इस दिन 10 काम कम प्लान करना था और एक्चुअल स्टार्ट भी हुआ इतना। इसमें मुझे जब 9 करना था तो यहाँ पे मेरा हुआ लेट से कि 8। नाउ यू कैन सी द ग्राफ चेंज हो गया, ग्राफ इधर आ रहा है। इस लाइन के, ब्लू लाइन के नीचे आ रहा है, राइट। इट मीन्स कि हम अपने ट्रैक से, मेरा पोजीशन अच्छा है, मैं लीड कर रहा हूं कि मैं अपना काम ऑन टाइम खत्म कर लूंगा। लेकिन जैसे मैं यहाँ पे लेट से 8 करने से खत्म, प्लान्ड मेरा 8 था और मैं आ जाता हूँ 2 पर। अब इन तीनों दिन का कितना हुआ? 27, 9 + 8, 17 + 10, 27 काम मुझे खत्म करने थे, बट हो कितना रहा है? 20। अब जैसे आप देखना क्या हो रहा है, नीचे आ गया ना। अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ इसमें मैं कर देता हूँ लेट से कि 10। अब ये ऊपर चला गया। अगर ये काम एक्चुअल 10 हमने शुरू किया, ये काम अगर ऐसे ही मेरा ग्राफ लेट से, अब मैं सब में मैं 9 डाल देता हूँ। टोटल मेरा कितना काम हो गया यहाँ पे? 299 हटा देते हैं। 91 तो काम ही नहीं था, मेरे पास 55 काम था। तो यहाँ पे भी मैं टू टू तो टाइमिंग अभी मैं इसे हटा देता हूँ। 77 हुआ, यहाँ पे मैं 5 कर देता हूँ। कुछ कम हुआ, 73। यहाँ पे भी मैं 2 कर देता हूँ। 66 1 58। तो यहाँ पे मैं 3 कर देता 52 5, सॉरी। और इन सबको मैं 9 ही रहने देता हूँ कि जो काम मेरा ये था वही एक्चुअल भी वही हुआ। तो ना यू कैन सी कि मेरा ग्राफ इस लाइन के, ब्लू लाइन के नीचे जब तक था तो ठीक है, हम अपना काम टाइम के पहले भी कर सकते थे, हो जाता। लेकिन जैसे ब्लू लाइन के ऊपर जा रहा है, फिर नीचे आया, चलो ठीक है, वी अगेन ऑन द ट्रैक। ना जैसे ब्लू लाइन के ऊपर गया, हम लैग कर रहे हैं ना अपने टाइम ड्यूरेशन से। अब ये नीचे अगर आएगा तो 26 जैन को तो खत्म होगा ही नहीं किसी भी हाल में। सो बर्न डाउन चार्ट मुझे यही बताता है कि मेरा, और ये ऐसे ही जीरा अपने आप डेवलप करता है कि मेरा कितना टाइम बचा हुआ है और कितना काम बचा हुआ है। राइट, अगर मैं यहां से सबको हटा दूं, हम देखो बाय डिफॉल्ट ये ग्राफ बना रहा है कि अगर ऑन ट्रैक चले हम, जैसे अब मैं इसी पूरे डेटा को कॉपी करके यहाँ डाल रहा हूँ कि जो प्लान्ड था वही मेरा एक्चुअल भी है, तो सेम ग्राफ। लेकिन जैसे प्लान्ड और एक्चुअल को मैं चेंज करता हूँ, यहाँ पे लेट से मैं करता हूँ 6, अब देखो नीचे आ गया। क्यों? 65 67। मैं अपने काम से एक्चुअल काम मेरा कितना हो रहा है, कम हो रहा है, तो नीचे आ गया। सो दिस इज बर्न डाउन चार्ट। बर्न अप चार्ट भी थोड़ा सा इससे कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है बनाना, बट ये दोनों चार्ट, आई जस्ट एक्सप्लेन यू बाय यूजिंग वन एक्सेल, बट ये दोनों चार्ट जीरा में बाय डिफॉल्ट बनता है। नाउ व्हाट इज एपिक यूजर स्टोरी, टास्क, सब टास्क, और टेल द डिफरेंस बिटवीन एपिक यूजर स्टोरी। सो देखो जीरा में या अजाइल के लिए जो भी सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करते हैं, VSTS है माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का, जीरा है अटलासियन का प्रोडक्ट, तो इन सब में जो भी इश्यूज होते हैं, बेसिकली इन सब में इश्यूज ही होता है एक फीचर। सो इश्यूज के अंदर हम एपिक यूजर स्टोरी टास्क सब टास्क, दैट इज द कैटेगराइजेशन, और बग, दिस ऑल आर द कैटेगराइजेशन ऑफ द इश्यूज। एपिक क्या होता है कि एक कंप्लीट बिजनेस सिनारियो इज कॉल्ड एपिक। लाइक अगर मैं एग्जांपल दूं, उस एपिक को पहले एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ। एपिक इज अ कंप्लीट बिजनेस सिनारियो इज एपिक। उस एपिक को जब छोटे छोटे रिक्वायरमेंट में ब्रेक करते हैं, दैट इज यूजर स्टोरी। यूजर स्टोरी को करने के लिए छोटे छोटे रिक्वायरमेंट को ब्रेक करते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड टास्क। उस टास्क को और फर्दर ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड सब टास्क। ना अब इसको अगर एक एग्जांपल से समझे, सो यू एपिक, यू जैसे फ्लिपकार्ट का, यू ऑल गाइस आर यूजिंग फ्लिपकार्ट, सो मैं उसी का एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि जिससे आपको क्लियर हो। यू users are able to buy a product from Flipkart. This is epic. Now, user story इसका क्या होगा? अब users are able to buy product from Flipkart. So there are two things. User must be registered user हो या user as a guest user हो. User वही प्रोडक्ट को बाय कर सकता है, राइट? सो अगर मैं एक सिनारियो को पकड़ के चलूं, registered users shall able to buy product from Flipkart. ये हुआ एपिक का एक यूजर स्टोरी ब्रेक किया. दूसरा, गेस्ट यूजर shall able to buy product from Flipkart. ये दूसरा रिक्वायरमेंट में ब्रेक किया ना. अब एक यूजर आपको रजिस्टर्ड यूजर एज्यूमिंग दैट ना, इसको अब टास्क में कैसे ब्रेक करते हैं? बाय प्रोडक्ट करने के लिए क्या करना होगा? लॉग इन करना होगा, देन प्रोडक्ट सर्च करोगे आप, देन ऐड टू कार्ट करोगे, देन बाय, या बाय करोगे वहीं से, या ऐड टू कार्ट करोगे, या एंड देन पेमेंट करोगे, राइट? सो इसे मल्टीपल टास्क में ब्रेक कर सकते हैं. यूजर शैल एबल टू सर्च प्रोडक्ट, वन टास्क. यूजर शैल एबल टू user will able to buy product from the search result or the product description page. User shall able to add to cart, search product. ये हो गया है. ये इस तरह आप इसको टास्क में ब्रेक डाउन कर दिया आपने. दूसरा टास्क इसी में आप क्या बनाएंगे? यूजर शैल एबल टू मेक पेमेंट. अब सब टास्क प्रोडक्ट का आपने ऐड किया है कार्ट में. नाउ यू आर इंक्रीजिंग द क्वांटिटी, यू आर डिक्रीजिंग द क्वांटिटी. दैट इज a subtask. So this way, this is the basic difference between user story, epic user story, task and subtask. How you log the bug against user story? The simple answer is the bug tracking tool. Maximum company Jira use करते, Jira or the Azure VSTS. Are you using any tool for a Scrum project? Yes. अगर आप Jira use करते हो, then of course you are using the Jira. If you are using VSTS, then VSTS. And maximum organization में यही दो प्रोडक्ट चलता है. What will be your action if any modification introduced requested in user story for running a sprint? So इसका मतलब कि एक स्प्रिंट चल रहा है. चल रहा है का मतलब स्प्रिंट प्लानिंग हो चुकी है. स्प्रिंट प्लानिंग हो चुकी है का मतलब कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी डिफाइन हो चुका है, उसका टाइमलाइन डिफाइन हो चुका है. नाउ अगर कोई भी मॉडिफिकेशन उसमें हो रहा है या नया कोई नया चेंज रिक्वेस्ट उसमें आ रहा है, कोई नया रिक्वायरमेंट ऐड हो रहा है, उसी में छोटा ही रिक्वायरमेंट हो, तो we will not accept that changes because प्लानिंग हमने किसी और रिक्वायरमेंट के लिए किया था, उसमें 2 4 5 10 लाइन और ऐड हो गया, तो प्लानिंग भी हमारा चेंज होगा. और प्लानिंग हमने किस पर किया था, किस बेसिस पे? अपने बैंडविड्थ पे. तो बैंडविड्थ तो ना तो इंक्रीज हो सकता है ना तो डिक्रीज हो सकता है. मैं अगर 8 आवर्स एक दिन में काम करता हूँ जिसमें 6 आवर मेरा प्रोडक्टिव आवर है, तो ये 6 आवर 12 आवर नहीं हो सकता, राइट? तो बैंडविड्थ ना तो इंक्रीज हम कर सकते हैं इन एनी कंडीशन. तो अगर विद इन द बैंडविड्थ अगर वो मॉडिफिकेशन मुझे लग रहा है कि हो जाएगा, देन ऑफ कोर्स वी विल वेलकम. अगर लग रहा है कि नो, इट विल टेक मोर टाइम, देन ऑफ कोर्स we will tell the Scrum Master that no, this feature cannot be developed in this particular sprint. So move this new modification or the user story in the next sprint. Hope I'm clear to you guys. If you have any question, then you can put in comment section. I will try to answer each and every one. And also I'm sharing my Agile Scrum video. So before going to this video, watch those 2 videos without skipping. Then you can also answer this question in your language. Okay. Thank you.